to... Hello, everyone. This is Noura Khalifa. Thank you so much for joining us in University 195 Talk Show. So today is the third day, and I'm going to have an amazing speaker with us from our platinum sponsor, American University of Bahrain. Mr. Williams is going to be with us from the American University of Bahrain. So thank you so much for joining us for the talk show before our amazing event, University 195 conference, that's going to be held from the 5th to the 9th of December. If you still didn't register for our upcoming event, please visit www.195university.com to register. And if you know any students, post-graduated or graduated for bachelor and master degree, please inform them to register with us. So let us go for our amazing speaker. Hello, Mr. William, how are you?
Hi, good evening, Sheikh Adora. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good evening. How's everything? Hope all is well.
Everything's great. You know, the weather has cooled off, and spending some time outside has been wonderful over the weekend. So yeah, hard to complain in Bahrain during November.
That's really, really great. And it's a pleasure to have you in our talk show. Pleasure to have you in our upcoming event on the 5th. So before we start, we're very excited to have the American University of Bahrain. You have an amazing campus. I have visited the American University myself, and it is one of the amazing campuses on Bahrain. So I would like to know more about the university. So can you just tell me more about it?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, we're kind of the newest institution here in Bahrain. We were founded in 2019. It took us a long time to develop the concept for the university, and of course, to design the campus that thank you very much for saying how great it is. We really enjoy it. It took us a long time to design and develop that campus and the concept for the entire university. You can kind of see one of our distinguishing features behind me. It's our sunshade. Lots of great events go on underneath that sunshade pretty regularly. But we are the first comprehensive American-style university here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. We are supported through the ELM Fund, which is part of the Mumtalakat portfolio. I'm sure you're familiar with Mumtalakat, the sovereign wealth fund here in Bahrain. So it's great to be a member of that portfolio and be associated with that organization because we provide a lot of activities for our students and opportunities for them. So, you know, we've really been growing over the last couple of years. Our first intake was in fall of 2019. And we do an intake in spring as well, which I think is actually coming up in January timeframe. So to start off, a little bit about the campus. You know, it's this large campus in Rafah, 75,000 square meters. We have 22,000 square meters of built-up space in buildings. We have 9 different buildings. And when we developed the campus, it was really around a unique and holistic approach to education. And a lot of times people come to the campus and they say, wow, you have all of these facilities, not just a bunch of classrooms. And that's on purpose, because the American style of education is about what happens outside of the classroom almost as much as what happens inside of the classroom. So we have a great sports facility and gym. We have large student commons for students to hang out in and have some fun. We have a library, 4 academic buildings. Of course, the university has to have academic buildings. A welcome center and a large auditorium as well. So the reason we built all of these buildings, and particularly the buildings that are not part of the academic core of our 4 buildings, which is classrooms and some other laboratories and things, is because we really wanted to mirror what an American-style campus and education experience would be in the US. So if you were to travel abroad, these are the things that you would see on an American campus. And we wanted to bring them here to Bahrain. So in addition to the great facilities, we've got a wonderful academic team here and a curriculum that we're providing that mirrors some of the best universities that you'll find in the US. And I'm happy to note, actually, that on June 3rd, just this year, we were granted eligibility for our WASC accreditation. So for those of you who don't know about that, the Western Association of Schools and Colleges is an accreditor or regional accreditor in the US. And they accredit some institutions like Stanford and Berkeley and UCLA and a number of others. And we are working through the process to become an accredited institution. So what eligibility means is that we can apply for accreditation and continue that process. We're pretty excited about that. And that kind of gives us an external validation of the quality of operation that we're running here at the university, with not only the facilities, but also the curriculum and the people that we're working with. You may have also noticed recently in the news, I think it came out last week, we have finalized a partnership with the California State University Northridge, which is one of the 23 campuses in the California State University network. That's the largest public university system in the US with almost 500,000 students. And we've created a unique institutional relationship with them so that it doesn't just focus on one program or another program, it focuses on the entire organization as American University of Bahrain. And so the objective here is to create a connection between us and this institution where we can draw some of the resources that they have to create opportunities for our students. So this could be, for example, a 2+2, where a student comes to AUBH and takes any of our programs that we have on offer, and then decides 2 years down the line that they'd like to finish their studies in the US. We're guaranteeing that transfer so they don't lose credits, they don't lose time, and it saves students a lot of money and creates that pathway to the US. We also have a 3+1, which is 3 years here in Bahrain and 1 year in the US. So for those who don't want to spend a full 2 years in the US, then they can take advantage of that opportunity. But even for the students who choose not to travel to the US, this relationship creates a lot of value for them. We're doing things like connecting our faculty together, connecting our students together on projects, creating some summer programs, semester abroad, possibly some internships in Los Angeles through CSUN. So pretty excited about that partnership and happy to finally announce that it is official. So, that's some of the stuff that we offer at AUBH, but it is truly an American university here in the Kingdom of Bahrain.
That's really great news. So before I move to my next questions, I have graduated my bachelor's from American universities, and one of the things that I really liked as a student back then is the culture of the American style university. So can you tell us more about the culture of the university? If I'm a student and I would like to join American university, what is the culture that the American University of Bahrain is offering?
Sure. So one thing that sets us apart is our desire to develop community on the campus. We talk about, if you read our taglines, we've got a number of them, like culture of care. We've got sound body, sound mind. We have all of these kind of operating ethos at the institution that really guide what we're trying to do on a daily basis. And this makes us different. You'll see a lot of events. If you follow us on social media, you'll see loads and loads of events. You'll see a lot of events that are completely student directed, where we just become a support organization for the students to pursue their passions. Because for us, sitting in a calculus class and getting your 3 credits and moving on with your degree is just part of it. It's part of the experience. Really what we want to do is make sure that our students are set up when they graduate to be productive members of their community. And what better way to do that than to create that community in your university? So for example, if a student wants to create a club, they're more than welcome to create that club. They have to take the initiative to run the club. They have to take the initiative to get membership into that club and to support it through activities. Now, we as a university will support them in every way, shape, or form that we can, whether it's using the campus, whether it's organizing some things for them, introductions, etc. But we're not going to do it for them. And so it's this kind of blank canvas when a student comes into the university to say, I'm going to make of this experience what I want to make of it. We don't like students just kind of not participating and sitting around doing their classes and that's it. We really want this university to be a community that has an impact in Bahrain. And then by extension, when our students graduate, they'll bring the same mentality into their employers' organizations, or if they have a desire to start an organization on their own and become an entrepreneur, that they'll still have that kind of understanding of how to just go and get it. So we're a very energetic university. And GPA is only one number that measures one very small fraction of the experience that you'll get. And so we take that very seriously.
That's really great to hear. So what is the main degree that you offer in the university?
We have a number of offerings right now. We have 10 different bachelor's degrees. They're organized into 3 colleges. We have a College of Business and Management, we have a College of Engineering, and we have a College of Architecture and Design. And our enrollment is spread pretty evenly throughout a lot of these degree programs. But one interesting degree program we have is a Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia Design. This is a very interesting program for a lot of our students because it focuses on a diverse range of media, not just social, not just photography, videography, but a combination. Graphics design is part of it, for example. In the College of Management, we have Bachelor of Business Administration, and we have 4 of those. We have one that's in digital marketing and social media. We have one in finance, one in human resource management, and one in management more generally. These are great programs if you're looking to get into business, or again, if you want to become an entrepreneur and kind of manage your own organization. Different ways to get there are through the College of Business. But I would like to point out one thing that we're really focused on at the American University of Bahrain is to be a STEM-oriented organization. So we're putting a particular emphasis on programs that are related to engineering. And as a result of that, our engineering college is a bit larger than our other colleges at the university. But there we have a Bachelor of Science, 5 different Bachelors of Science, one in civil engineering, one in computer engineering, one in computer science, one in mechanical engineering, and one in industrial engineering. So if you have a desire to be an engineer, that covers pretty much all of it, from the hardware of computers to the software of computers to building bridges to all sorts of things. So we're really proud about our College of Engineering. And we're just now, we've announced recently that we're launching master's programs. So one of those master's programs, of course, is a master's in business administration in our College of Business. And of course, master's in engineering management and a master's in marketing management. So we're trying to cover kind of the whole scope of our existing 3 colleges through introducing those master's degrees. And we're trying to just help working professionals take their career to that kind of next step. And also to be supportive of our own graduates to take their careers to the next step. And I will say, all of these programs are related to CSUN as well. So if you choose any of these programs, you'll have an opportunity to do a 2+2 or a 3+1 if you want to study in the US for a period of your degree. So again, pretty excited about the CSUN relationship as it relates to all of these programs.
That's really awesome. So what is the achievements you're most proud of from the university?
Achievements I'm most proud of. Well, I speak personally. This is a project that I started working on in 2015, I guess, the end of 2015. So my roles have kind of evolved over a period of time. But I'm proud of simply seeing how many students are interested in this American style of education. I've been in the region for quite some time. I've been here for, I guess, almost 14 years now, 13 and a half years roughly. And I've been working in higher education for that entire time. And I've seen institutions from Morocco all the way to UAE and everything in between. And what I'm really proud of is the amount of time and energy that we put into not only constructing this campus, but all the time and energy that we put into what's going to fill it. So, you see, sometimes you go and you see a campus and it might not be that great, but what's happening inside of that campus is incredibly important, right? And it's doing really well. You might look at another university and you'll see that they have big, beautiful facilities, but they've forgotten actually what the most important part of that university is. That's the experience of the student. I think this institution, from what I've experienced and what I've seen so far, kind of brings both of those things together. It's got world-class facilities that mirror exactly what you're going to see in the high-end institution in the US. And it has people that really care and dedicate their time and energy towards the student, which is why we're all here to begin with. And so seeing those 2 things come together, from just a vision into actually operations and employees and students running around the campus and living a great life. That's really what I'm proud of. Now I'm excited to see where it goes from here. We're only in we just took our third intake of students in the fall. So a lot more to come, but I'm extremely proud of what I've seen so far over the last couple of years for this institution.
That's really, really amazing. So what do you think the role of the higher educations in the economy and the development? I keep asking these questions for everyone because I know that the impact of the higher educations in the economy, and I hope to hear from you.
Yeah, sure. It's obviously a driving force for any kind of economic development that a country wants to move towards. If the leadership of a country is focused on something specific and the education sector isn't focused on that as well, you're going to end up with investment that doesn't match the human resource capital of that particular country. And one of the great things, in my experience here in Bahrain so far, is there's such a clear laid out plan of where Bahrain wants to go as a country. And so higher education and even K-12 for younger students need to pay attention to that and need to say, if this is where investment is going in the economy, we need to make sure that we're providing people who are relevant to that field. And it doesn't necessarily mean, always everyone has a PhD or everyone has a master's degree or everyone has a bachelor's degree. It's a blend. And so what we're doing as an institution is trying to think long and hard about what opportunities we can provide for our students that will give them that lifetime of success that we talk about so frequently as a university. Because if we don't do that, if we're giving everyone in our university a bachelor's in geography, and no offense to those who have a bachelor's in geography, it doesn't seem that they might have a long-term employment opportunity here in Bahrain or in the region. So, what is important to employers? Well, people that think on their feet, right? People that can problem solve, people that don't give up at the first, little bit of adversity that they face in their employment. These are skills that are incredibly important on top of the skills that are aligned with the strategic plan of a country. So if there's not an alignment there, then you're not going to get where you want to be. Singapore does a great job of this, looking 30 years in advance and making sure that, what they want to invest in is in K-12. So, there are other countries that do it really well, and I'm happy to see that Bahrain is taking a lead on this. And we as educators need to make sure that we're setting up our students with skills and the knowledge that they're going to need to be successful in that economy.
So if you have a successful story in overcoming the difficulties and the challenges related to exceptional circumstances, what is the new educational methodology, such as educational technology or technique methods, online learning, and educational management system? What do you think about it?
Oh, this is a big question. How long do we have? This is a really big question, but I'll try and be as brief as possible. For us as an institution, we are very student-centered. I hope you've gotten that from what I've been saying so far. Some institutions might not always be student-centered and focus more on maybe faculty research or generation of intellectual property or whatever the case may be. And that's fine for them, but for us and where we see ourselves in Bahrain, it's really important for us to be student-centered and make sure that we're providing the activities and the experience that students need to be successful. So lots and lots of things that we do at the university are around creating diversity in our community, because that's what they're going to see when they graduate, making sure that we're really inclusive of students who have different abilities, be it, physical or maybe they need some emotional support or some counseling. We provide that at the university. And so there are a lot of things and a lot of kind of adversity that's been overcome that I've seen within the student body here. But to be a little bit broader, I think, even as during the pandemic for us, we had technology. You mentioned technology. We had technology. We were founded in 2019. So, for a university that's that young, you have to be digitally deployed or cloud deployed from day one, right? There's no cloud transformation for our university because it is what it is from the very beginning. And so this really has allowed us to create a learning experience for students during the pandemic, and we hope beyond, where a dual modality is not just sitting in front of a computer looking at Zoom or Microsoft Teams and looking at slides. It's a different way to engage with students. It's a set of cameras in classrooms where you actually feel like you're part of that classroom. And this is hard to do. It took a long time for our faculty to really understand because they were thrown into it during the pandemic like every other institution. But we made it in a way that the technology disappears. So the faculty don't have to worry about it. The students don't have to worry about it. All they have to do is build a relationship and build a community in their classroom, and the technology just exists. So it's one of the hardest things to do when you're investing in these platforms. But I think we've done it. Through a partnership with Microsoft, and of course, we have a partnership with Alexa as well. Well, Amazon more generally. Amazon Web Services runs all of our cloud-based technologies. So there's been a lot that we've done over the last couple of years to make sure that any student, regardless of what their situation might be, is addressed, and we've done quite well with that.
So, Mr. William, that was a really amazing chat. It was very nice talking to you and to have you in our third talk show. Thank you so much for making this happen and for supporting us in our upcoming event for University 195 conference. Without you as our sponsor, we would not be able to have this event. So thank you so much. And it was lovely having you today. If there is any student or any academic have any questions, you can always send the questions on the website and we can direct them to the university later on. If you have any questions related to registrations for the new year for the students, you can always reach out to us and we can link you to the recruitment team and the American University of Bahrain. If you didn't register yet for our upcoming event from the 5th to the 9th of December, please save the date and go to www.195university.com to register and to attend the event and the conference and the exhibition. So we have two sections. The conference, there will be an amazing 195 speakers from all around the world, and there's the exhibitions where the amazing universities from Bahrain and from all around the world, where you can see the best degree that you can enroll for your future education. Thank you so much. This is Noor Al Khalifa from Midpoint, and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.